Africa, a continent of incredible diversity, home to over 1.4 billion people, 54 nations, and countless languages, traditions, and cultures. From the sands of the Sahara to the forests of the Congo, Africa holds enormous potential: gold, oil, diamonds, and a young, energetic population. Yet, despite all this, over 430 million Africans still live in extreme poverty, surviving on less than $2.15 a day. And while some nations are rising fast like Nigeria, Kenya, and Rwanda, others remain trapped in a cycle of underdevelopment, war, and economic struggle. In this documentary, we journey across the continent to explore the top 10 poorest countries in Africa in 2025, not to shame them, but to understand why poverty persists and what is being done to change that story. Let's begin. Number 10 is Niger, a landlocked nation in the heart of West Africa. With a GDP per capita of about $2,000, Niger faces immense challenges. Over 80% of its land is covered by desert, making agriculture, the main source of livelihood, extremely difficult. The country also has one of the world's highest birth rates, with an average of 7 children per woman. This rapid population growth strains schools, hospitals, and food supplies. But Niger is fighting back, investing in solar power, irrigation projects, and girls' education to break the poverty cycle. Still, insecurity in the Sahel region continues to threaten progress. At number 9, we travel east to the island of Madagascar. Famous for its wildlife and unique environment, Madagascar faces a harsh economic reality. Nearly 75% of its citizens live below the poverty line. The economy relies heavily on agriculture, especially vanilla, which makes up a large part of exports. But global price swings and natural disasters like cyclones devastate local farmers. Deforestation and droughts in the southern region have also led to food shortages and malnutrition. Yet, there is hope. Renewable energy programs and ecotourism projects are slowly reshaping the economy, showing that even in hardship, Madagascar's spirit endures. At number 8, Liberia, West Africa's oldest republic. Founded by freed American slaves in the 19th century, Liberia's history is both inspiring and tragic. Civil wars from 1989 to 2003 destroyed much of its infrastructure, while the Ebola epidemic of 2014 further crippled the economy. Today, with a GDP per capita near $2,000, Liberia faces unemployment, poor healthcare, and dependence on imports. But it's rebuilding, step by step. Roads, schools, and small businesses are re-emerging. Women's groups, youth programs, and diaspora investments are helping drive new growth. Liberia's story is one of slow but steady recovery. Number 7 is the Democratic Republic of Congo, a country of unimaginable wealth and unimaginable struggle. It holds vast deposits of cobalt, copper, and diamonds, resources that power modern technology. Yet, most of its 100 million people live in poverty, earning less than $2 a day. Years of war, corruption, and exploitation have robbed the country of stability. Armed groups continue to control mining regions, while infrastructure remains weak. But change is on the horizon. Global demand for electric vehicle batteries has drawn new attention to DRC's minerals. If managed responsibly, this could mark the beginning of a new chapter. In 6th place is Somalia. For over 3 decades, Somalia has been one of the most fragile states in the world. Civil wars, terrorism, and weak governance have devastated the economy. Millions depend on humanitarian aid, while drought and famine remain frequent threats. But Somalia is also a land of resilience. Entrepreneurs are rebuilding cities, the port of Mogadishu is active again, and mobile money has become a lifeline. The Somali diaspora contributes billions each year in remittances, keeping families afloat and businesses alive. Number 5 is Mozambique, on Africa's southeast coast. The discovery of massive offshore gas fields made Mozambique a potential energy powerhouse. But frequent cyclones, corruption, and an Islamist insurgency in the north have slowed progress. Most citizens still live in rural areas, relying on farming and fishing. Yet, international investments in natural gas, tourism, and agriculture are giving Mozambique a chance to transform. If managed wisely, it could become one of Africa's next economic success stories. At number 4 is Malawi, the warm heart of Africa. Malawi's economy is small, but its spirit is strong. With most of its citizens relying on small farms, droughts and floods can devastate the nation. Poor infrastructure and limited access to electricity hinder growth, but education and gender equality programs are creating gradual change. Renewable energy projects around Lake Malawi and improved irrigation systems are helping communities become more self-sufficient. The people of Malawi show that warmth and resilience can overcome even the toughest conditions. Number 3, the Central African Republic. a nation rich in gold and diamonds but torn apart by decades of war. The Central African Republic remains one of the world's poorest, with most citizens lacking access to clean water, education, and healthcare. International peacekeepers and humanitarian agencies continue to provide aid, but long-term peace is essential. Despite the hardships, communities across CAR are showing remarkable unity, rebuilding villages, opening schools, and striving for a future of stability. At number 2 is Burundi. With limited land and one of the highest population densities in Africa, Burundi faces a daily struggle to feed its people. The economy depends heavily on agriculture, mainly coffee and tea, but low global prices hurt farmers. Political instability and corruption have further slowed development. However, new initiatives in local governance and women-led farming cooperatives are helping rebuild trust and self-reliance. And finally, South Sudan. The world's youngest nation, and Africa's poorest. Since gaining independence in 2011, South Sudan has faced near constant conflict. Millions have been displaced, and hunger remains widespread. Despite possessing oil wealth, corruption and war have crippled its economy. Amid the suffering, hope still shines, in schools rebuilt by local teachers, in farmers returning to their fields, and in young people dreaming of peace. South Sudan's story is not just one of poverty, it's one of courage, endurance, and the human will to survive. These 10 countries reveal the deep roots of poverty in Africa, conflict, corruption, colonial history, and climate change. But they also reveal something greater: resilience. Across the continent, ordinary Africans are creating extraordinary change, farmers innovating with little, women leading businesses, and youth driving digital revolutions. Africa's story is still being written, and its future, though uncertain, is full of potential. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more documentaries that explore the stories shaping our world.